All right, today we are diving into one of the most fundamental processes of life itself, cell division. Seriously, this is the microscopic engine that drives pretty much everything from our growth to our very existence. And it all starts with one single question. How on earth does any living thing, from you and me to a massive redwood tree, go from just one tiny cell into this huge organism made of trillions of them? How does that even happen?
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. Every single whale, every giant sequoia tree, every one of us, we all started out as just one cell. It's a mind-blowing thought, and it really sets the stage for an even more incredible process.
So, the answer isn't some big one-time miracle. Nope, it's a constant repeating cycle. A cell grows, then it divides. That's it. And that simple loop repeated trillions of times over, well, that's what builds life as we know it.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and look at the operating system running this whole thing. This is the cell cycle. Think of it as the meticulously planned schedule that every single cell follows to get ready for its big moment, the division.
So what exactly is the cell cycle? Well, it's the whole sequence of events where a cell very carefully copies all of its DNA, makes all the other parts it needs, and then, finally, splits into two. For any of this to work, the coordination has to be absolutely perfect. Now here's what's so fascinating. Look at how a cell spends its time. In a typical 24-hour cycle for one of our cells, the actual division part, that's the M phase, it only takes about an hour. Can you believe that? Over 95% of its life is spent just getting ready in a stage we call interphase.
And don't think interphase is just some lazy waiting period. Oh no, it is incredibly busy. It's broken into three parts. First up is G1, where the cell is just growing and doing its normal job. Then comes the really crucial S phase, S for synthesis, where it makes a perfect copy of its DNA. And finally, G2, where it does a last round of prep, kind of like a final systems check before launching into division.
So after all that prep work, we finally get to the first type of division we're going to talk about, mitosis. The best way to think about this is as the body's perfect copy machine. It's absolutely essential for growing and for repairing our tissues.
You'll hear scientists call this equational division, and there's a really simple reason for that. The whole goal here is to create two daughter cells that are perfect genetic copies of the parent cell. The number of chromosomes stays exactly the same. It's all about making clones.
Now this process isn't just chaos. It's this beautifully choreographed dance with four main steps. So let's walk through this incredible cellular ballet.
First up, we have prophase. The cell's long, stringy DNA starts to pack itself up nice and tight. Imagine trying to move 1,000 loose threads. It would be a total mess, right? So the cell condenses them into these compact X-shaped chromosomes. It's basically packing a suitcase before a big trip.
Next, in metaphase, all those neatly packed chromosomes are guided right to the center of the cell. They line up in a perfect single-file row along what we call the metaphase plate, right at the equator. It's just an amazing display of organization.
And then comes the most dramatic moment of all, anaphase. With a sudden yank, the identical halves of each chromosome, the sister chromatids, they're split apart and whisked away to opposite ends of the cell. It's this really powerful, super precise separation, and it guarantees that each new cell gets a full set of instructions.
And finally, telophase. The chromosomes arrive at their destinations, and they start to unwind again. And a brand new nucleus forms around each complete set. The journey's over, and now we have two perfect nuclei just waiting for the cell to finally split in two.
So why does all this matter? Well, this is literally how we grow. It's also how we heal ourselves. The cells that line your gut, your skin cells, your blood cells, they are constantly being replaced through mitosis. It's happening inside you right this second. Okay, but hang on. If mitosis just makes perfect copies, how do we get genetic diversity? Why aren't siblings identical twins? That's where our second process comes in. Meet meiosis, the genetic shuffling machine. Meiosis is what's known as reduction division. Its goal is totally different from mitosis. It's all about creating 4 genetically unique haploid cells. Now, haploid just means they have half the normal amount of genetic material. And we know these cells as gametes, sperm, and eggs. And here's the secret sauce of meiosis. It's a little thing called crossing over. In an early stage, the paired-up chromosomes actually swap little pieces of their DNA with each other. This genetic shuffling is the main reason why siblings, born from the same parents, can look and be so different.
It's incredible.
This all happens over 2 big rounds of division. You can think of meiosis I as the sorting phase, where the pairs of chromosomes are separated to cut the total number in half. Then, meiosis II is the splitting phase. It actually looks a lot like a normal round of mitosis, where the copies inside each chromosome are pulled apart.
The importance of meiosis is just massive. First, it makes sure that when sperm and egg combine, the baby has the right number of chromosomes. But even more importantly, all that genetic variety it creates, well, that's the raw material that allows a species to adapt and evolve over time.
So we have these 2 amazing, but very different cellular processes. Let's put them side by side for one last crystal clear comparison.
Let's just break it right down. Mitosis, its purpose is growth and repair. It has 1 division, and the outcome is 2 identical diploid cells. Meiosis, its purpose is sexual reproduction. It has 2 divisions, and the outcome is 4 unique haploid cells. Simple, clear, and absolutely fundamental to life.
You know, if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Mitosis is the process that builds and maintains you, the individual. But meiosis is the process that ensures the survival and the evolution of your entire species. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Mitosis preserves the present, while meiosis creates the future. One provides stability, the other invites change. Both are absolutely essential for life as we know it, but which one do you think is ultimately more important? Thanks for tuning in.